nice minute to get in here.
Okay. Big man, you want to hear some hot takes? Let's see how woke you are. You know something about podcasts? Yo, dígame. Get me on one, man. I got these 3 drunk uncles with a sports podcast. They say they got fire takes, pure fuego. You find them wherever you listen to podcasts at. If it's what they say it is, you like and you subscribe. Listen, like, and subscribe, yeah. You know how to call into the show? Yeah, man, through the podbean. You'll need headphones with a mic to call in. That's no problem, man. They'll also be at Sharky's, 8:07 p.m. on the first Wednesdays of the month. You may get some free Blue Chew. And they keep receipts or so. If anything happens in the sports world, MyT's gonna drop a tape faster than a rabbit gets fucked. There's only 3 things I have in this world. My word, my balls, and this podcast. And I don't break them for nobody. Oh shit. MyT Sports Season 7.
Just give me the light. Yo, just give me the light. Gotta get that light working. Good. Raise my curtain. Yo, raise my curtain up. Here we go. Good evening, and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, the one and only Donald Taylor. Yo, it is another En Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. It is officially April 11th, 2022. They said we was gonna have highs today like 88, lows of like 54. It's a crazy day today. Like, that shit was completely bananas, B. We got a big show for you today. As you guys already know, this is Volume 7, Edition 84, Track 417 of the MyT Sports Podcast. Coming at you live and direct from South Florida, stone's throw away from Miami. We right on the border, we touching elbows, you know what I mean? We rubbing neighbors, asking them for sea salt and shit. You know what I mean? Over there like, hey, yo, you got any more of that Himalayan salt? You understand, big day's going to current temperature right now at 72 degrees and it has been clear. Well, you know how this is South Florida, so we have about 50% chance of rain. But we got a big show for you today on this Monday. I ain't gonna lie, I had to skip the tea of the weekend today. As you guys see, we already started like around like 9:37ish. You know what I mean? Nobody don't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean? We start whenever the party's here, and the party is here right now. I had another good day over at Cloverfield. We may talk about that a little bit later. But first of all, we're gonna talk about how the Lakers are firing their head coach. Tiger steals the Masters. Rose finally speaks out. Rest in peace to one Dwayne Haskins, right? We're going to get into a little bit of Blue Chew. I thought I was going to get into the tea of the weekend, but no toe today. We got no toe in line for today. So for all you people with the foot fetish, no toes for you. No toes for you. NBA playoffs are set. We got Frank out in LA. I think we already mentioned that already. So we got all that and a whole lot more coming on the MyT Sports Podcast. But you guys know what we already say. Regardless of the time.
Take that.
I'm getting low on bed. And regardless of the weather.
You play to win the game. Hello?
It's always a good time to talk some sports. Stories, motherfucker. So... let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Oh man. Like let's get right into it, right? Right. What I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna set the birthday song up for you guys, alright? I'm gonna go grab myself another beer. And when we come back, we're gonna get started with this birthday party. Cause we got his birthdays for today. But if you guys don't know, we like to start off every single podcast with a little birthday party, which means that we want to we go ahead and give a shout out to everybody that had a birthday from the last time that we was on the air until this time. All right. So right now we're gonna go ahead and start that birthday, get those feet moving of you guys, and we'll come back in just about like 30 seconds and start this party off. I know you hear it. I know fear it. Yeah, in case you guys are looking on YouTube, yeah, I'm wearing some Grinch pajama bottoms on right now with a little bit of damn Cheech and Chong shirt. Hope you guys recognize it, right? Hope you guys recognize. I see Ronnie popping up in the room, right? We're gonna talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's go to it. I know you guys hear the birthday song. You guys ready? For the people in the back one time that know the song. Because, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. Because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. Alright, that was for you people in the back that's never heard this song before. Next time we're gonna go real time, and then we're gonna get right into the birthday songs. I just realized I got a Cheech and Chong shirt on, and I got no bud within arm's reach. Like, what the fuck was that? Right? Because yeah, check it. You ready? Ready to go again? Because, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it. Yeah, because it's your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it, yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and start giving our birthday shout-outs. Like I said, we had no birthday shout-outs for the 9th and the 10th. So let's go ahead and start off with the birthday shout-outs for the 11th, people. And that is actually today. For the birthdays today, folks, we have one to Mike Beswick, former co-worker of mine. Another one to Tamika Bailey. I know you better ask Tamika Ellis, former battle. Excuse me, God mercy. Former battle buddy, you know what I mean? One of my good friends from my first duty station. Want to say happy birthday to her as well. Let's go ahead and get those to Mike and to Tamika. We want to say happy birthday. Hope you party hard. Hope you enjoy everything. But more importantly, hope you get your weekend at Bernie's on and continue to stay MyT. What's going on, Hulkster? How you doing? Welcome to the Mighty Sports Podcast. Hey yo, DJ MyT, do me a favor. Cut the beat. Let's get into our first topic of the day.
First of all, first things first.
I told you in the intro that Tiger stole the show. And if you guys know me, I very rarely ever start off the podcast talking golf first. Right? But it really was one of those weekends. Yeah. It would have been better if I had Stone Cold Steve Austin in here cracking open a good beer. The Hulkster never drank beer in the middle of the ring. Yeah, I'm gonna start off a little bit of golf today. Right, and that's only because Tiger stole the show. And this is what I mean by the Tiger stole the show. I caught myself turning on the Masters twice this weekend. Just to catch Tiger. And I'm not even a big fan like that. Like, I'm not a big, I said it correctly. I'm not a big fan like that. I'm a fan, but not a big fan like that. But yet I catch myself, like, I'm over here doing what I normally do over the weekends, whether I'm cleaning or playing 2K or doing whatever I'm doing, right? Smashing. You know what I mean? Like, I like to put on a little bit of sports in this, smut and sports in the background, right? And I caught myself on the Masters for at least 4 hours over the weekend. Just 4 hours blindly. And it's catching myself, oh shit, Tiger's up again. Let's see what the fuck he does. Oh, I heard the crowd go wild. Let's see what just happened. Oh, replay, it was Tiger shot. But both times, after a certain amount of time, I realized I'm really not even really watching this. I haven't seen one shot by anybody else. I don't know who the hell else is teeing off at any point of given time. I don't know if they're over. I don't know if they're under. I don't know if they're shooting for bogey or they're shooting they're shooting for they're shooting bogey or damn it. But you know what I'm trying to say here. Like, I have no clue what's going on. I realize that I'm really just paying attention just to see Tiger strut up and down the court 18 months removed from what should have been or what was a life-threatening car crash. That was really it. Like, we had a winner, Scott Scheffler, how do you know what his name? Came in first place, bag of 2.7 mil. All the top 3 earners scored over $7 million. I mean, over $1 million. That's the other crazy thing about it, is that, like, Scotty Too Hot, he was over here. He's the one that won. It ain't nobody talking about Scotty. It's all about the eye of the tiger. How Tiger pushed through. How Tiger persevered. 18 months later, and didn't even know if Tiger could walk. And you do this course, and you walk about 25 miles in the course of 2-3 days. Like, it's that kind of shit. Like, it's all of that. But it's also interesting, right? Tiger has been the most polarizing figure in golf for like the last, how long has he been in golf now? 30 years? It feels like 25 years? At least 20. Definitely at least 20. So, and he's also still the closest person to passing Jack Nicholson, becoming one of the all-time winners in Masters. So anytime that you kind of see him, it draws that intrigue, especially this late into the game, where we know golfers can golf until they're 60-something years old. It's just that Tiger keeps having that turmoil. First it was mental, then it was physical, and then it keeps getting to some kind of weird-ass physical, mental battle for him. Tiger came in 47th place. $43,000, that's all he made in purse money. But you would have swore he came with that 2.7 mil the way he's talking about. But it's Tiger. Like I said, Rocky Balboa made a whole entire song about him and didn't even meet him yet. So, like, that's how important that is when you got Rocky Balboa making songs about you, and Rocky Balboa is a boxer.
Balboa is not even a real person.
You know what? Thank you for giving us that.
You drop takes, don't you? You drop takes, don't you?
Sir, yes, sir!
Well, if you gonna drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitiously.
Cleveland! This is for you!
You are right. Rocky Balboa is not even a real person. That's what makes it even more impressive that he wrote a song for Tiger. And
I have never heard this shit, but that's asinine.
but also, he wrote a song about Tiger, and it wasn't even like about Tiger's game. He just wrote about his eyes. Like, he looked at it in his eyes, and he wrote a song about him. I heard after the accident, Tiger Woods' drive game went to shit. Well, listen, when you get into that many accidents, your drive game is shit. Thank you. Yo, my phone never misses. That's why I love my phone. And I love making that ringtone, that notification for my phone. My phone never misses. But listen, yeah. You wrap yourself around 2 trees. I'm assuming that your drive game is shit. But thank you again. See, my phone is the shit. But again, shout out to Scotty Scheffler. He is coming into this tournament. He was the best golfer in the world, and he showed it. He was pretty damn dominant for a while. I mean, the field ended up closing back up a little bit, but he was pretty damn dominant for a while, and he closed out and he won his Masters. Came away with the billing, and he gets to go home and say, "Yo, I'm a fucking champion." Actually, you know what? I'll let him. I'll let you hear in his words exactly how he addressed all of the other golfers after he won the Masters.
I'm champion! Get shit on! Get shit on! Get shit on! Your
What about Tiger?
ass! Your ass! Shut the fuck up!
What?
The
What is that? I need to find that clip in YouTube, bro. I need to find it. I need to find that because I can't find it nowhere. It's like it used to be everywhere on TikTok and Instagram. I can't find that clip for nothing now.
Yeah, you have to.
So I need you to send me that clip.
I definitely got you. I'll send you my file. Like that'll be the easiest way. Like I'll shoot you my file over. It's, you know, I ain't gonna lie. Like TikTok has generated some. Okay, to be honest with you, and also granted, TikTok wasn't around when I started potting, right? But even after TikTok first came out after a little while, I never thought that a TikTok sounder would be a drop for my podcast. But boy, TikTok gives me some gems. What's going on, Hulkster? I want to give the big boot to Chill Will. Listen here, brother. Let me tell you something. I'm going to cut it right there. Because I drew a blank because I wanted to go into the Macho Man. I wanted to go into a little bit of Macho Man, to a Macho Man persona. But I figured, fuck that. I'll be better going off it. Listen here. I pity the fool that ever wants to drop a big leg on Chill Will. You listen here, Hulkster. I'll fight you in the ring. I'll fight you outside the ring. You a paper champ. You ain't fought nobody. Get off me, old man. Can I tell, and for those who don't know, I love Halloween. I absolutely love Halloween. I went, and I have to show you guys the picture too, like so you can see, because I cut my hair like and everything. I went dressed as Mr. T for Halloween, right? I still have probably 70 of the 100 beads I wore that day, right? As his fake jewelry. You know what I mean? But I went out for that Halloween, and I won 3 different Halloween costume contests. And one of the Halloween costume contests I won actually had a guy dressed as Hulk Hogan, and I can't remember if he was in the final 3 or if we made it to the final 5. But it was a guy named just like Hulk Hogan that was upstage with me and coming down to the end. Could I tell you, I got an assist from one of my homeboys, right? That had a championship belt in the crowd, and he gave me his belt, and I went straight from Mr. T straight into Clubber Lance mode. And that Clubber Lance mode, I started calling out Hulk Hogan at the other side of the ring. Could I tell you, after I did that shit, and granted, you know my name is Talon Dodie Taylor, so like Mr. T literally was fitting me. You know what I mean? And no doubt, that whole entire crowd started yelling, Mr. T, Mr. T, Mr. T. That wave went on for the next couple of rounds, and I came away with the jackpot. I forgot how much money it was, but however much money it was, I used all of it, and I bought my people's drinks that night. I was like, fuck it. I couldn't have won this without you guys. So here, everybody gets a drink. You get a drink, you get a drink. I was like Oprah with the drinks. That's like how LeBron is with the rings. I was like Oprah with the drinks. Like you get a ring, you get a ring, you get a ring. Everybody here gets a drink. You know, it be like that sometimes.
Cleveland! This is for you!
But again,
Big up.
to Scotty Scheffler on becoming your 2022 Masters winner. But let's go ahead and shift gears a little bit, right, and continue marching on. As we do have what is now the opening series of baseball that has just finally commenced, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know what's going on around the whole entire league. You guys know me. I'm a homer. I am a homer, and I doe all over the place. And I'm gonna talk about my Mets and my Yankees. Mets and the Yankees, they both won their first opening series. Yankees against the Red Sox and the Mets against the Nationals. The Yankees will come away winning 2 out of their 3 games, and the Mets will come out winning 3 out of their 4. Both teams losing the very last game in their series to leave a bitter taste in the fan base's mouth. And the reason I say bitter taste, because if you know New Yorkers are erratic when it comes to their fandom. They're absolutely fucking ridiculous. And Mets fans and Yankees fans are already calling an upset about how their franchises are doing so far this year. And for Mets fans, I don't get it, to be honest with you. For the Mets fans, I really don't get it. I don't understand your frustration. Yankees fans, I understand it a little bit. I'll get to you guys in a minute, right? As a fellow Yankees fan, I can understand your frustration. as a Yankees fan that has been working under the cover with the Mets at Clover Park over there in St. Lucia, I can honestly tell you guys, I have no clue what you're complaining about. Like, you guys have a billionaire owner that wants to spend money, is trying to spend money, is spending money, like is basically treating money the way that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers treat draft picks, or sorry, the Los Angeles Rams treat draft picks. He got you the skipper that you needed, and granted, and actually made some decent moves during the offseason before the lockout and after the lockout to help try to solidify that team. And can I tell you personally that I heard, and I'm part of it. So I end up hearing what happened. But right now, like I said, I'm in Clover Park, and we're tearing down their cafeteria and their training facility. We're cutting that shit the fuck out because apparently somebody walked down to that motherfucker and was like, "This is unacceptable." So we're gonna rebuild this bitch. I'm not gonna say who walked into that motherfucker, who walked into St. Lucia, Florida, and looked at the AAA and single A Mets facility and was like, "This ain't gonna cut it." But let's just say that motherfucker has a little bit of money and walked down there and was like, "I don't give a fuck if this is our single A team. This shit ain't gonna cut it." And now they about to renovate that bitch. Mets fans, who's hopping over? I don't know what you're upset about. You guys are actually in a good position. And if things continue to play out the way that it does, you can act like how Tiger just did it, and you can go ahead and you can steal the show. You can actually swoop in and steal something from your neighbor that they covet. Take your eyes off his wife. I'm talking about his lawnmower. I'm talking about that chopper that he has. That motherfucker that's just cutting down the grass. We're talking about Aaron Judge over here. The New York Yankees failed to sign Aaron Judge, right, before the season started. So for the Yankees fans, I can understand you're upset. I can understand you being upset. I can also being completely upset about this lineup and how it just doesn't quite fit the way that it should, even though you won your first series against the Red Sox. But fuck Boston, right? And you know what? I'll tell you. I'll give you the other half of that story a little bit later. So, the thing that should be frustrating to you as Yankees fans is that for the last couple of seasons, the Yankees have been they've made moves, but they've avoided other moves because it was always under the impression that we need to make sure that we have money to re-sign Judge. Judge when he was smacking 50 home runs, was only getting paid $500,000 a year. Judge, the guy didn't judge that. You went out and you got Juan Carlos Stanton, who's just an older version of him, and it makes no sense on why you should have gotten Juan Carlos Stanton. I'm gonna call that a favor to Derek Jeter because as a New Yorker, I always hate any time that you pick up Miami's trash, and we do this in a lot of the leagues. I don't have any sports on in the background. I should be watching last night's games all over again. I should be watching that Dallas game to see what the fuck happened to Luka in real time instead of just hearing about it. So I understand Yankees fans. I can understand your beef. I can understand your quarrel. I can understand why you're upset because everything that they've been doing for the last 2.5 years was supposed to lead up to the moment where you give Aaron Judge the money that's necessary to keep him as a player. Now, it was leaked that they offered Aaron Judge a 7-year, $213 million extension, which basically kind of plays out to like 8 years, $230, right? Some shit like that. It puts him under Mike Trout, but right above Milton Bradley or Avery Bradley, whatever his name is. Bill Bradley, Bill Bellamy, right? It puts him above him, but below Mike Trout. And he wants to get paid more than Mike Trout. Now, I don't know if this is the homer in me talking. And I know that Judge hasn't played. Well, you know what? I can't even say he hasn't played long enough, because when Mike Trout got his Mike Trout money, he hadn't made all of his accomplishments that he has now either. There's a part of me where I don't know. I don't know how to say that Aaron Judge is the best player in the league. Right? Because that's basically, if you're paying him better than Mike Trout, then you're basically saying he's the best player in the league. Aaron Judge is a few too many injuries away from being the best player in the league. So, in that sense, I could understand the franchise's trepidation on trying to give him the big bag. But it's also slightly disrespectful. Like, what the fuck else do you have there? But also, you said you was cutting all his money. So, they weren't cutting and saving all his money to give Aaron Judge what they thought was reasonable. And not go above it and not go below it. Well, probably go below it, but not go above it. If you had a hard set number, or if you had a mental cap, why the fuck? What the fuck else have we been saving? Why haven't the Yankees been making the necessary moves to try to better this life? You see, this is why the fan base gets upset now. Yeah, they won their first series. Who gives two shits? You ain't signed Aaron Judge, and you haven't addressed any of the long-term problems. Now, as a Yankees fan, right? Now, we have it's really weird to be a Yankees fan, right? Because you don't ride and die with every. I don't ride and die with every win and every loss, right? You kind of sleepwalk through the season in a sense, right? And you snap out of it right towards the end of the season, right when the playoffs is about to give, because that's what you expect from your team. It's a hard place to be. I'm gonna let you know this now. It's a hard place to be, and at times it's a dull place to be. I have even though it's a whole lot more painstaking, right? And it gives me a whole lot more heartache. I have way more fun being a Knicks fan and a Jets fan than I do a Yankees fan. If that makes any sense to you guys. I have way more fun being a Knicks fan and a Jets fan than I do a Yankees fan. Yes, the Yankees do win. And yes, the Yankees do consistently put themselves in a position to be winners. Right? Where they're constantly in the playoffs and in the playoff hunt. I don't ride that emotional roller coaster with them for 182 games. 164 games. I don't ride it with them. For the Jets, I ride it with them for 18 weeks. For 18 games, 17 games. For the Knicks, I rode that roller coaster with them. I ride that roller coaster with them for all 82 games. Whether they're 41-31, whether they're 35-47, whether they're 17-65. I ride it with them all 82 games. Like, my name was Genuine and she was riding my pony. Like, you understand? Like, all 82 games. It's not like that for the Yankees. And I feel like I need to get back to that place in a weird way. Like, I want to get back to the place where, when it comes to my baseball team, it's not, I can be happy with the wins instead of always nitpicking about all of the flaws. Now, granted, picking out your flaws even in wins is how you stay realistic, because what you're doing is that you see realistically where you can fail at. You see realistically where your ceiling is at. Immediately, you see it. So as a Yankees, so maybe that's what it is. As a Yankees fan, there's more reality there, right? You have to, like, I live in more reality as a Yankees fan, because I see the glass ceiling and I know that, okay, you keep this up, we're not going to get any better. And until you do that, then I don't know how I'm going to ride or die with you. Like, I just need you to go out here and win. I didn't watch any of the UFC fights yet from this past weekend. I did not, but I heard all of it. I heard they were fire. I really did. I did hear they were fire. Thank you, Hulk Hoster, for liking the show. Don't you guys also don't forget to like and share the show as well. Don't forget that you can find us anywhere that you listen to podcasts at, anywhere that you watch podcasts at. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, obviously Podbean, and this is how you can call into the show, because the Podbean is where we use our Blue Chew Get In call-in line. You can also hear us on Twitch and even every once in a while on the TikTok. Right, one of the easiest ways is go to Google Podcasts and you can always catch the latest episode there. Catch us on TuneIn as well, anywhere they do the podcast app, except for the Apple shit. Right, they say Apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you know what I mean, like fuck them apples, some ice something shit. Haven't figured out what the fuck's going on with them yet. So I think you guys quite understand what I'm saying, right? I'm just a little bit more emotionally invested. I get to dream more. Like even when I know the Knicks aren't in a position to win it all, I'm able to ride with them through whatever journey that they have, and I can still be upset, and I can still be, and I'll still be holding them accountable, and I can still go through them and be like, okay, you keep this up, we're not gonna get to whatever expectation or where I expect us to be at. But I have way more fun rooting for them than I do the Yankees. I have way more fun rooting for the Jets than I do the Yankees. And I ain't gonna lie, right now I'm a little bit sports deprived right now, because I'm over here looking for basketball. Ain't no basketball on. I realize that basically what the playoffs mean is not only it was fucking awesome. I'm gonna end up catching it. I guarantee I will end up watching it. And not only will the basketball season shortly be done, but that means the end of the podcast season is going to be done soon. That means we only have about 2 more months until the end of this season. Listen, we have 2 more months until Volume 7 of the podcast is over. And that means we're 4 months away from Volume 8 of the podcast in August, folks. Whew. Oh, what a time. Oh, what a time. Like, I realize that, like, I already have intro ideas rolling through my head. Actually, I've been had intro ideas rolling through my head. Intros keep rolling through my head. Tick tock. I need an ashtray around here so I can repack my bowl. Now, before we get into our next topic, let me see. Is it too early for this? Look, let's do this first, right? Let's go ahead and do this first. Let's go ahead and talk about something that I've been talking about. It feels like now for about 4 weeks, right? Easily 4 weeks now. And that is, how about we free BRITTNEY GRINER? Excuse me. Free BRITTNEY GRINER. Free BRITTNEY GRINER. Sorry, I had to look in all three. I had to look into both cameras and talking, and then also individually talking to the microphone to make sure that you guys heard me. That's the reason I said that shit 3 times. But we need to free BRITTNEY GRINER. Like, I don't get it. And in case you don't know who BRITTNEY GRINER is the Phoenix Mercury all-star, superstar, megastar center. The 3rd woman in WNBA history to dunk. Well, you know, the third woman in NBA history, third woman in NBA history to dunk a basketball. She has been a professional baller since 2013, so just about 10 years now. She is a 1-time champion, a 7-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 8-time block leader, 3-time first team, 3-time second team. 2-time defensive player of the year, 3-time defensive first team, 4-time defensive second team, NCAA champion, and more. That is her resume. A portion of it. I didn't finish off all of her college shit. And I just want to let you know the kind of resume that she has and what kind of dominant star player that she has been. And what kind of face of the league that she has also contributed to. Because I want you to find what equivalent that is. And equate that to that person being held hostage in a foreign country. And you ask me what would have happened if this was I am trying to think. One-time champion, multiple-time All-Star, scoring leader. What would have happened if this was Dirk Nowitzki? See, Dirk Nowitzki is a hard one, right? Because Dirk Nowitzki is German, right? Who would have known what the U.S. would have done if they would have let their own German people handle us? And then, we would have been like, you know? So I'm still trying to find that equivalent. It's weird because, what if that was Kevin Durant? I know Kevin Durant is a 2-time champion, but he did that shit with the Golden State Warriors. And so we can say that's basically just like winning, his 2 champions like winning one in the WNBA. Right? So what would happen if Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant was the one that was stuck in Russia over some bullshit? Now, I'm not over here saying that the United States government would have suddenly rushed over and invaded the country already. Actually, that's kind of what I'm saying. But I'm not saying that it would have just been, okay, maybe not already, but they would have eventually. But ultimately, what I'm saying is that there would be more buzz about it. If this was Kevin Durant, there would be a much higher daily buzz about them holding one of our American athletes hostage. And that buzz would have been so consistent and so loud that eventually the American government would have had to respond. I am telling you this. So I find it highly disrespectful once again to our women athletes that they don't get the same kind of respect or love or attention that our male athletes get. Like I said, and maybe it's who her fans are. Maybe it's who the media is. Because like I said, no, if this was Kevin Durant, you would have had media members at that White House media meeting asking questions about Kevin Durant. And we would have heard about it on ESPN, on Fox, on Yahoo, on Bleacher Report, on DAZN. Sasson. You know what I mean? So we would have heard it all on every meets, on Hoops Highlight, on Ball is Life. We would have heard about it. But we're not. And it upsets me that for somebody that's on the level of Kevin Durant, as far as what they have done for their league and BRITTNEY Griner, that there isn't more of a daily buzz. Like I said, I don't think that the U.S. government would have just rushed over there by now. This is Kevin Durant, but there definitely would have been more daily pressure put on it. This is something that we wouldn't have been able to escape as a secondary thought, and that's part of the reason why you hear me talk about it every day on the podcast. I'm gonna talk about BRITTNEY Griner every day on this podcast, the way that ESPN, Yahoo, Bleacher, or any one of those Fox would have talked about it if this was Kevin Durant. So I'm gonna do that. Just like I'm gonna constantly keep reminding athletes that all you motherfuckers want to be owners, go buy a WNBA team. Go start a WNBA team. Like y'all tripping. Oprah? Yeah, I'm calling out Oprah now. I'm going big fish. Like I'm tired of calling out these little motherfuckers like Dwayne Wade and Pitbull and fucking and the fake Rick Ross. Cause the real Rick Ross ain't a rapper. See what I did there, Chillville? See how I tied that in? You guys don't even know the shit that I come up with on the fly sometimes. Man, y'all don't even understand the shit I pull out full circle. Like you do, real chill, bro. But I'm talking to the audience here. Y'all don't even understand what the fuck just happened a while ago. But seriously, Like, I'm tired of calling out these little small fish. You know what I mean? Will Smith, all these cats that are supposed to be tied to Miami to open up a WNBA team. Even though I heard there's a WNBA team coming to Vegas real soon. Which is there's an NBA team coming to Vegas real soon.
I'm tired of you and this shit.
Actually, what am I saying?
I'm tired of you.
Wait, actually, there's already
shit. Don't nobody want to see that shit, bro. Don't nobody want to see that. I'm a be honest. Fuck all of the feelings. Don't nobody want to see that shit. Period. I don't give a fuck about the inclusive. Don't nobody want to see that shit. I'm not watching no WNBA games other than maybe some. I like college better than WNBA. That shit sucks. It's horrible to watch. No one wants to see it. Now, if it's tennis, if it's soccer, if it's football, you ain't got to put them in scantily clad shit. But the WNBA, that shit fucking sucks. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just gonna say it. And I wouldn't want to buy it. Who wants to buy that shit? No one's gonna buy it. Now that they ain't skilled, it's still like I know people who can row the fuck out the boat. I don't want to see that shit. I don't fucking care, man or woman. I'm just saying, it's just not a good. And that's the problem. There's got to be some type of what's the word? Context brought to this, because it's just not because they women. The WNBA is doing shitty. I mean, it's just not. I'm not saying that they could be doing better, but it's not just because, and no one wants to go rush to buy a team. Why would I want to rush to buy a WNBA team? Why am I rush to lose money?
Because they need to add to the popularity of the sport. Their popularity would help the popularity of the sport and would help it grow. That's the reason why I call out those. But and also, let me just let you know, this segment wasn't so much about the WNBA and these guys. But it was about BRITTNEY GRINER. Yeah,
but I had to get that out the way because
I understand. It's been boiling up. I get you. I got you. It's been bubbling.
I just feel I
still call them out though because if Oprah owned a WNBA team, it would draw eyes to the WNBA. Like, you understand? Like, you have to strategically start chopping things away. Oh, but also, why would I want to buy a WNBA team? Because if I figure that my popularity and stardom is big enough, yes, I would buy one because I would believe that my stardom and my fandom would also help grow help grow a sport that I love. So the two reasons, because I love it.
But she doesn't love it.
But some of them, they do love it though.
Oprah doesn't watch fucking. Well, so whoever you say, whoever I get what you say. It's whoever that person is, not whatever the WNBA's resident Oprah needs to buy a team because they love that sport.
And granted, I'm also saying Oprah
that's
too.
That's for women to do. Like this, no.
I'm also saying
you
Oprah
can't
too.
Ask somebody that don't give a fuck about sports. Oprah probably tell you sports is might even like.
Oprah wants to buy an NFL team.
She likes football though.
But that's the reason why. But also that's the reason why the NFL recently dropped that amendment to their buying agreement, to their purchasing agreement, to stop Oprah from forming a group with other individuals to get a team. Basically, they were like, if you want to get a team now, you need to have four times the amount of wealth that it costs to buy a team as an individual.
Because what I'm saying to you is that we can't hold Oprah feet to the fire about some shit she wouldn't do in the first place.
I know. Listen,
she wants the NFL team.
That she needs to buy. She needs to start
now,
with WNBA team.
I don't fucking know. We can say Jada Pinkett fucking Smith. She loves the WNBA. She's always at the games. Fucking buy a team. But this is not fucking charity. At the end of the day, this is business. And I'm not about to make a $1 million. That's not smart, bro. They invest $100 million into something that you're gonna lose money on for charity.
So you rather buy?
It's bigger than that. You're making this. You're reducing it.
So you're also gonna.
You're simplifying, is what I'm saying.
So, but you rather buy 0.01% of the Utah Jazz?
If I'm gonna make money, hell yeah. What do you mean?
I'd rather start my own franchise.
Oh, let's do this. Let's do this. I'm glad we're here. I'm so glad we're here. Okay, so you're gonna go buy a fucking stock that's for sure or unsure to make money, but then you got fucking Tesla or whatever your favorite fucking stock is. If you can buy partial shares in that, you're gonna do it, right? Because you're gonna make money. You're confident. You've been watching the graphs. You've been studying it. Oh, this is a great stock. Just because this fucking, well, no, let me just go with this. Like I don't want to get.
Listen, I know you're on the right track. I agree with you here.
Shit.org. I'm just saying, same difference. It's business. Business is business. It's simple. And no one's rushing to buy a WNBA team because the NBA hasn't invested in their own. So don't ask me to fucking invest in your shit. If you ain't investing in your own, fuck that.
The NBA has, but also the WNBA is honestly is really almost functions. It is a different entity than the NBA. Like they really are. They're completely different entities. Like they really don't fucks with each other. Like you know what I mean? Like they're not one and the same. Like they're not like the little sister of the NBA. It's not like big bro looking out for little sister. It really is like, oh, that chick down the street.
Man,
that we have to be cool with.
It's an affiliate. Bro, stop it, man. Stop. T. Their name is the W what?
NBA. But that's also like saying the junior NBA. Like, yeah, it's the WNBA, but that's because ain't no WCBA. Yeah. But there's no WBA.
They're a subsidiary. They're a subsidiary of this huge company.
Yes, they are.
So you can't say that they are not that. I don't care. You can't say that. No matter what level it is, they're not. That's a sister company. That's not a cousin or a distant neighbor. That's a sister company.
But that's how they treat them though. Like the chick down the street that they're cool with. That's how they.
That has nothing to do.
That's how they allow them to function.
My point. You're right. Yeah. You're right. But my point is, you ain't even invested in them. That's my point. You haven't even invested in them. Why the fuck I'm gonna come invest in them?
But they have invested in them. But they also allow them to grow.
You haven't made them appealing. You haven't made them appealing. Why should I? Appealing enough. Of course they invested in them. We're not talking about if they invested in them or not. We're talking about how much energy, and I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about how much did you invest in them to make them appealing.
You're right about the energy because
you're not losing money. You're not willing to lose the farm on them. Wage the farm. Why should I? I'm not invested. You're not about to sit there and watch a motherfucker sit on the couch and help him. You gonna do what? You gonna see that motherfucker get off to work every day? If you got two motherfuckers in your house. One get up and go to work every single day. The other one just sit on the couch and complain. Who the motherfucker you gonna help?
The WNBA ain't over there just saying, but I know what you're saying. The motherfucker, WNBA over there sitting around complaining.
I'm just saying. My point is that if you're not helping my point is that you're not investing in your own enough. Why the fuck would I come in and try to do that? That's why you don't see investors. Because it's when they sit down and do the numbers, the shit doesn't make sense. They're doing the WNBA to save face, bro. Like this is a moot point because they're not doing WNBA to do the. They're just doing it because it's the right thing to do.
You know what though?
Tax write-offs. It's just an afterthought. Anyway,
I'm actually glad you said some of that because that's actually why when Al Davis took over the Las Vegas Aces, he actually brought a lot of that up to their attention. It was like, yo, you guys aren't putting necessary energy or the necessary money into this to really help it flourish. And that's the reason why very recently you saw an influx of money come into the WNBA to help raise salaries, to help with advertisement, and to help with marketing. That not only came from Al Davis, but he also forced the NBA's hand. It was like, hey, you got to come up with some dough. And there was also a bunch of dough that came in from a bunch of other private investors as well. So what you're saying, you're 100% right about. And it's also an issue that they also addressed this year because of all of that. And a big portion of that came from Al Davis. Because he's like, yo, I'm not going to have my name attached to the WNBA and it be this fucking secondary loser ass league. You know what I mean? Like, whatever we think about it.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to have it.
But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you still gonna have a high school game. That's a men's high school game. That's more fucking entertaining than the WNBA. Period.
I don't know about
and
that.
they can't do nothing. That's physiology, whatever the fuck that word is.
I don't know,
physically,
but keep talking for 45 seconds.
That shit gonna be better. I'm just saying, because I'm talking about the people. I'm not just talking about me. I understand basketball. I like the basketball. When I'm speaking about this, I'm talking about in averages. Me personally, I can watch the WNBA game and be entertained to some degree. But when we're talking about on a huge scale, I'm about to go from watching fucking Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, LeBron James, to watching a bunch of motherfuckers I don't even know that are just shooting the ball, playing great defense, and doing layups.
And great fundamental basketball.
No one wants to see that shit. Come on, bro.
You're right. Regular fans don't want to see that shit. Like, that's for the purists.
That's what my point
like,
is.
no, you're right. Like, that's for like. But that's what you have to get to, like. For like,
they ain't play the game like it's supposed to be played, bro.
So
they play the game. They can shoot. They can pass. They do everything you're supposed to do.
So let me always say
the NBA does the opposite.
So let me always say something I always say about the WNBA, right? If you want to learn how to play basketball, you're trying to really learn the fundamentals. You can watch a few players from the NBA and you'll have to pick them out. What you should really watch is the WNBA. Though, and it's also because of how much they have to play overseas too. Like one, they're forced to be fundamental, and then two, they have to go overseas and you're double forced to be fundamental. Like, you know what I mean? But
I concur.
But so for people trying to learn,
product's still a product though.
No. I know that.
You're
so
right,
I'm sidebarring from the product right now. Like, for the people that's trying to learn the game, that's where you should go to, is the WNBA. Yeah, but when it comes to the aesthetics of basketball, right? Because the men's game truly expresses the heights of the game, which is fundamentals with a mixture of athleticism, and you get to see, you know what I mean, like, it flourish on both ends. Some people have some fundamentals, some people have some athleticism. Remember, there's guys like Joel Embiid. He had to build on his fundamentals. People like Jokic came in fundamental with no athleticism. People like Giannis was all athleticism, had to work on some fundamentals in a little bit of each area. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's you get to see the highest of athleticism in the world. And then you also get to see when that athleticism also meets its fundamental. Where the women's game is really all about fundamental. That's why I said, like, if you want to learn, just go watch them, because then you don't get to see a lot of people rely on their athleticism to bail them out of situations, even though some of the most successful women still in the WNBA are those that express a high level of athleticism, but also to match their fundamentals. Like, hey, I can go and make this fundamental layup because I have the athleticism to blow right the fuck by you. You know what I mean? Like, so, you understand? I'm not saying that they're not athletic at all, because everybody, it's all about how relative you're athletic to the people that's in front of you, right? Or to your competition. And some people, you do have some people that are more athletic than some other women. But ultimately, it's still finishing around the rim, finishing underneath the basket, still making that extra pass about the floor spacing, because they can't just take off the moment that they blow by you and just go dunk and go dunk that basketball. They blow by you. Now what? Now you have to worry about your second move, your third move, your fourth move. Because now you have a wall and you just can't go jump over everybody. Yeah, but WNBA. Free BRITTNEY GRINER. Like, let's not forget what we're talking about. Free BRITTNEY GRINER. And before we march on to our next subject, right? Let's make a little transition, right? Let's make sure that you guys can stay ready so you don't have to get ready. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Bluetooth, folks. You guys already know about this. Bluetooth, and if you don't know by now, that means you haven't listened to the podcast enough. And if it's your first time here, don't you fear. Bluetooth is a little blue pill that gives you back It's a little blue pill that gives you back your thrill. All you have to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. This little thing has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you blue chew in advance. And if you use this week's promo code of LPLJ, that's Lima Papa Lima Juliet, you'll be able to get your first order of Blue Chew for free. The only thing that you're going to need to do is pay for shipping and handling. And the shipping handling is like $5. It's for your postal workers because they're helping you get through in rain, sleet, hail, or snow, or whatever fucking temperatures you have in your weird ass area. Remember, that promo code is LPLJ. Do all that shit you said you were gonna do in those text messages, because with Blue Chew there's only 2 requirements: you chew it and then you do it. Holla at your boy. Hi, let's switch gears, right? And let's talk a little bit of hockey. Like, I rolled the dice today and hockey came up, and I was like, what the fuck can I talk about hockey? Well, the hockey season is just about to be over. As you guys know, the hockey season is just about 82 games, just like the NBA season, and they usually finish about weeks apart, right? Which is kind of always weird, because hockey actually starts before basketball, and they both finish at the same time, which means that there isn't a lot of back-to-backs that go on in hockey, it seems like. Which means if the NBA was willing to push their schedule back just a little bit further, a couple more weeks, maybe 2-3 more weeks, you can probably eliminate back-to-backs. But will the players want to come in earlier into training camp and spring training and summer league and all? You know what I mean? Like it kind of shortens your off-season time, but you're a fucking professional. Like 365 days a year. Like, fuck all that dumb shit. You get paid enough that you could be like, But I know how that body needs to relax though. I ain't gonna lie, shit. Like I'm talking shit though. Like, oh my god, don't I know how that body needs to relax?
Training camp, technically, they can shorten training camp. They don't have to have a bunch of games. They can have fucking 4 or 5 games at training camp.
And preseason,
How long as they have now?
No, you're right. Like, they could cut down training camp a little bit and cut down preseason a little bit and fit it right in. But there's a way, and I have a feeling that while we're under Adams' reign, that the NBA is probably gonna go and mirror the NFL schedule a little bit more and push it back just so they can eliminate more back-to-backs. Which is crazy because it's not gonna eliminate load management, but once there's no more back-to-backs, I think then they can start enforcing punishments now for load management, or not so. I don't want to call it punishments for load management, but implementing incentives for playing more games, and that's gonna be interesting. Because if you because Adam Silver's a weird one. Like, I don't think he'll call it punishment. Like, hey, I'm punishing you for not playing 65 games this year, or I'm punishing you for not playing 70 games this year. Well, no, what I'm doing, I'm incentivizing and rewarding the guy that did play 70 games. I'm rewarding the guy that did play 75 games. I'm rewarding the guy that did play 80 games. I'm rewarding the guy that played 82 games. I'm rewarding the team that had 95% of their players play 80 games. Like, you understand? Like, there's ways. There's some odd ways that you can try to de-incentivize or deter load management. Is it going to stop it? No. I'm not saying you're going to stop it. But hopefully you can find ways to deter it. Or, if nothing else, find the players and the coaches is going to find a nice little hack to get players paid more. To be honest with you, I always believe that they should go back to the way, and I know a lot of people ain't going to agree with me on this, where there's nothing in the NBA ruling that says contracts need to be guaranteed. Guarantee, hold a certain portion of their, of these contracts now, and then give that to the players in bonus depending on how many games they play. Like, I'll find some shit like that. But you can find a way to not make these contracts guaranteed or non-guaranteed or tiered based off of games played. Hey, you don't play 80 games, you don't get guaranteed your full contract.
Going to don't they already fine them for sitting games?
They
fine them though. They did that this year.
They're like it's almost like the Rooney Rule. It's not enough. Like whatever it is, it's not
doing that. That means they're finding them. That means there's a incentive to play. I do get the back-to-back. All right, so let's go through this. You said the back-to-back will be a more of incentive. That's a more of incentive, and I have back-to-backs to play every game. Also, it's finding them. The guaranteeing contracts not being a thing, that's not real. No union. I was in the union for several years. No union is going to agree to.
But their contracts. But their contracts aren't guaranteed now, though.
Huh?
Their contracts aren't guaranteed now, though. It's just that once that first guaranteed contract went through, kind of everybody got guaranteed contracts. And as I'm about to say, like it's kind of hard to go backwards now. But when something else comes into play,
what do you mean that contracts are guaranteed?
No,
their contracts are guaranteed.
Everybody gets a guaranteed contract in the NBA, but there's nothing in the NBA in their CBA that says contracts are 100% guaranteed. It's just that's the way it's worked out. Like once that first person got a guaranteed contract, then more and more people got guaranteed contracts, and then almost everybody gets a guaranteed. There's a very few non-guaranteed, but it's usually just for those like guys that they normally call up or those two-way players. It's just that now almost everybody in the NBA basically gets a guarantee.
I don't know if I believe this, bro.
No, I'm telling you.
I had to see this.
It's one of those, and I understand why, because it's one of those little weird things that when you hear it, you're like, wait a minute, what? You mean contracts? There's nothing in the CBA that says contracts have to be guaranteed. It's just that contracts have been guaranteed for so long. Would you look like being the first agent not getting me a guaranteed contract? I can negotiate that shit my goddamn self. Like, think about that. What it would look like after all the... Like, see, that's how commonplace it is to you. That it feels like to us that NBA contracts are said to be guaranteed contracts. No! There's nothing in the CBA that says they have to be. It's just that it's been accepted as that. But you go look it up. It's one of those. It's one of those little weird.
The CBA.
There's nothing in the CBA that says that
allows teams to protect a player's base compensation in the below circumstances, which results in a team having to pay the protected amount, even if it terminates the player's contract. While most NBA contracts are 100% protected, not all players receive this guarantee.
Yeah, they don't have to give that guarantee. Like, it was really one of those things that was supposed to be for max players, right? It was supposed to be for the Shaqs and the Kobes and the Jordans, and then it kind of trickled down to the Marburys and the Ty Lues. You know what I mean? Like it started because after a certain while, you can get a guarantee for any level. Like, why negotiate a $50 million contract for 4 years and say $36 million guarantee when we could negotiate a 4-year contract for $36 million and $36 million guarantee? Like, fuck all the dumb shit. Like they took that dumb shit the NFL has. Like they took that dumb shit out of it. It's like, wait, why are we doing 50 for 4 years with $36 million guaranteed? Just give me a 4-year, $36 million contract guaranteed. Fuck all the dumb shit. Like, what's all that other dumb shit on there? Put that shit in bonuses, if you have to. Like, put that shit in incentives. That's kind of what they do. Oh, player can now make up to $50 million. Why don't actually, you know what? As I'm saying this, why don't they just announce NFL contracts like that? Because after I just broke it down, it actually kind of sounds like what that is. Because after that guaranteed money runs out, those contracts basically so. Excuse me. Shit.
Man, what the fuck?
It's these Yinglings. My bad. How loud are those? All those burps? Are they thunderous? The notorious. Okay, let me get through my hockey talk, right? Let me talk that hockey so I can move the fuck on. So,
Oh my god.
wait, listen. I had a 6. Okay, so I did this, right? And I'm gonna do this for a while. I looked up the 6 major sports in the United States, right? And then what I did is I took a die and I rolled that dice, right? And I rolled that die until the dice on single, whatever, right? And I rolled that die, and whatever number it came up with, like between the 1 and 6, like that's the one I talked about, and you know, and hockey happens to be in there. So let's talk that hockey, and also. It's very brief. We still got basketball and football to talk about. It actually very ironically left basketball and football for last. I can't even complain. The Panthers have the Florida Panthers have secured themselves a playoff spot. The New York Rangers have secured themselves a playoff spot. The Toronto Maple Leafs have secured themselves a playoff spot. And we're talking about about 5 games left to go in the season, folks. And also the Carolina Hurricanes have also secured themselves a playoff spots, folks. Only those 4 teams have so far secured themselves a playoff spot. We have about 5 games left in this. I think it was like about 5 to 7 games left in the season. Everything is still wild the fuck open. You gotta go watch. If you're a hockey fan, go ahead. You're not gonna want to turn your screen. Go ahead and watch that puck because some shit's about to get fucked up. All right, let's keep marching on. Right, and let's get into some NBA talk, right? And I don't know how much longer I was going to be on here. I think I got like another half an hour in me, right? Today's going to be a short podcast. Right, and we had a lot of interesting things happen in the NBA this last week. Not just for us Knicks fans, right? And we'll have our little conversation a little bit later, Knicks fans. But around the association period, we have the playoffs solidifying. We have the play-in games set for Tuesday. Right, there are no games on tonight, unfortunately. Excuse me. It's fucking horrible. But there's been a lot of news that's been happening already since the season has ended. Chill, Will. I don't know if you heard me with this rant on Friday, but with the NBA, how long do you think that is going to take for announcers and everybody to get tired of trying to differentiate between the play-ins and the playoffs and just go back to what we used to just call it regularly anytime we didn't want to call it the playoffs, and just start referring to the whole goddamn thing as the postseason? Because it literally is just the postseason. We've played all 82 games. Right now, this is still, I mean, it's not the playoff, whatever you want to call it, not the playoffs, but it's still not the regular season. It's the postseason. It's the season after the regular season. Well, whatever we're doing out in between to get to whatever next level, it's still the season after that. It's postseason. I wonder how long it's gonna get them to get tired of calling it, hey, the play-in, hey, the playoffs. These 4 teams we got 10 teams we got 10 teams in the postseason, and 4 of them are about to play in each division, each conference, I should say. But that's not even the most interesting thing that has come up so far, right? Immediately after the season was over, the Los Angeles Lakers, they fire Frank Vogel. Now, if you guys don't know, the Los Angeles Lakers, they missed the postseason. There were 10 teams that could make the postseason. The Los Angeles Lakers were the 11th seed in their respective conference. Basically the same exact spot that the New York Knicks were in, but with less wins. Damn, okay, phone? I thought you was going to give me one of that. Phone sold me out. So, now the Los Angeles Lakers have fired their head coach. And I'm going to be interested to see who was the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers? Because there's something that I've always said is that the only thing that LeBron James is honestly missing his whole entire career was a good head coach, consistently. Was a good head coach this whole entire, like the majority of his career, like Jordan and Kobe did. Like, who knows what he would have done if he would have had, like I said, like Doc Rivers his whole entire career, or Ty Lue his whole entire career. Who would have known? I'm just trying to find good coaches out there that win. Popovich his whole entire career. Like, what would have happened when you have somebody on the sideline that you respect and can match what you do, and can come up with a better game plan that you can formulate in your head, which sometimes isn't always the best game plan, but it does come in handy in every once in a while during a wrinkle moment. You know, they say even a garbage can gets a steak. Not calling you trash. I'm just saying that not all of your game plans were hitters. Basically, they were like baseball averages. But when you have to do it all the time, you're like, and they're only relying on that, I think the Mets have a player like that. Strikes out but hits about 40 home runs a year. But strikes out at a ridiculous rate that makes you want to fucking puke. So, the Lakers lose their head coach, right? And we as Knicks fans have been calling for the head of our head coach for some time now. And even when you're calling for Tom Thibodeau's head, I always come back to my next question. Well, once you fire him, who do you bring in? When you fire coaches of that caliber, who do you bring in as a replacement? Because what you definitely don't want to do is fuck around and go down. Because immediately the players will know that, oh, wait a minute, this guy definitely doesn't have us as prepared as the last guy did. And they may not buy in. They've had bad coaches in the past. They know what bad coaching looks like. They know what competent coaching looks like now. These young Knicks I'm talking about. So as the Lakers are going for their next head coach, even as a Knicks fan, I wonder who they're going to get, because as a Knicks fan, I've been wondering who would you replace Tom Thibodeau with? Now, one name that pops up all the time is Mark Jackson. And I think that I am far past the fantasy of Mark Jackson. If Mark Jackson didn't come out of retirement, I feel like the first 5 years after coming back into the booth, then he's not leaving again. I mean, he was there in the booth, came back to coach, brought his team to a contending championship level, to see himself get fired and then bring in somebody else, and then they win a championship off of his hard work. He's seen that happen. Every time I hear Mark Jackson's name brought up now, my first response is, it's not going to happen. Why would he leave a place that he can keep a secure job in? Unbreakable, right? Without stress for the next 15 years, where he could make $25 million a year, $15 million a year, however much money they're paying these guys. Him and Van Gundy. Where these guys are getting $10 million a year, whatever it is, to talk about basketball games now. And not have to worry about stress. And he can do this for the next 15 years. And just watch that money goes up with inflation in every new contract. And people love them on television. They love them. They're revered on television. Or do you want to go coach for 3 years? Be stressed the fuck out every other day, not be appreciated, and worry about being fired, and then get fired after 4 years, and then have to go look for another fucking job, and then most likely what they're gonna end up doing is coming right back to the same television network that they were trying to work that they were with before, hoping that the people that they replaced them with already isn't beloved by the crowd, and people don't want to see them, or depending on where they're at in their contract. Why would they leave that? I get it. It's a respect thing that their names pop up. But it's also disrespectful to think they'll be stupid enough to... Let's not call them stupid enough. And let's not say that it'll be disrespectful, because coaches are coaches, just like players are players, you know, ballers are ballers, people are people, and people do what they want to do, and they always get that urge to go back to do their passion and their love. But I would say that I would be in a great amount of disbelief and shock if at this stage Jeff Van Gundy, after seeing what happened to his brother, and Mark Jackson after what's happened to him, leave the television booth to go back to coaching, to where things are unpredictable. What's going on, D-Mac? I see you popping in on the podbean feed. The podbean is where we allow our callers to come in. So if you would like to call in, you know, through our Bluetooth getting hotline, this would be the place to do it. So I question, like, why would they risk their stability to go back to coaching where it's unstable, and then when they get fired there, they're not going to be guaranteed to get the position that they had before they left. That is playing them really fucking comfortable. I don't think that Van Gundy nor Mark Jackson is going to be coaching again in this league. So when you take those two names out, Lakers fans, but more importantly, my Knicks fans, if and when you fire your coach, just go on T1. Talk to D-Mac. I just gave him a little spill. He'll get you up to speed. Right? If they're off the table, like who are you going after? That's always my biggest concern. Once you have a certain standard, like it's almost like dating, right? Like after you've been used to a certain thing in dating, you can't go backwards. Well, after you're used to a certain standard in coaching, how do you go backwards? And to go backwards is set yourself up for failure. Now, as a Knicks fan, can you still tie Lue? Like who's there to get? That's what I'm saying. After you've gotten rid of Tom Thibodeau, or like the Lakers have done and got rid of Frank Vogel, who's the upgrade? Who is the bona fide, guaranteed, hidden upgrade? Are you waiting to see what happens to Philly? Are you going to try to get Doc Rivers out of Philly? And how would that look if Doc Rivers leaves Philly? Granted, I feel like Doc Rivers is an LA guy, and he would love to get the chance to go back to win LA and win a championship there or some shit like that, right? So, how many more coaches are better respected than Frank Vogel or Tom Thibodeau that you can go out today and be like, okay, you are the person to take my franchise to the next level? I'm, like I said, as a Knicks fan, I'm locked into what the Lakers do, because if they're able to find an upgrade to Frank Vogel, then that means that there's hope that the Knicks may be able to find an upgrade to Tom Thibodeau if they have to get rid of Tibbs. Thibaut Diaby. But the only thing about the Knicks, would you make that right decision?
Sense though, what you just said, I don't even make that make sense.
Wait, what makes sense? What's that? What part?
If the Lakers can upgrade, I get me hope that the New York Knicks can upgrade. What?
Because no,
that don't make no sense.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I can't think of the head coach that is an upgrade from Vogel or Tom Thibodeau. But also, I don't know all of these. I don't know if I'm just not wired into enough of these coaches.
Get 'em.
You know what I mean?
How are you gonna get them?
I got you, but
No,
if they
no,
get
no,
him,
no,
how
no.
are you gonna?
It makes me know that guy is out there. That's what I mean. Like now,
I don't think that's what you're looking for, though. You're not looking for an upgrade. You're looking for a fit. There are a bunch of good coaches out there, but do they fit? It's not necessarily like it's like cars. It's a bunch of 3-4 good cars. Does it fit what you do? Like it could be a great car, it could be a great Honda, but I got 8 people in my family.
But if it fits me, then I
fit.
upgraded to what I needed.
That's not. I don't know. If that's. So I'm saying you're looking for something better, opposed to something that fits. It's not necessarily better. Like it's you know what I mean?
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
I don't
because
know if that's necessarily an upgrade.
So what you're saying is that, and I know that we and maybe he's just not the right fit in Portland. What you're saying, maybe Chauncey Billups may be the right fit in New York with this young squad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though he may not have the resume, he may be able to get through to these guys.
Well, he thinks he does. Yeah. This is the bad thing.
No.
He thinks he does.
I don't. Like I said, we know that he's not got.
Chauncey Billups thinks he has a resume. Though.
Yeah.
He thinks he's. Like before even.
Yeah. I don't know if he's that guy or not. I was just saying. I'm just trying to piece that puzzle into what you were saying. But what about Chauncey? Chauncey thinks he's that guy.
Yeah, he thinks he's that guy though. That's the thing. He thinks he is, which he's not. But yeah, that's another third. Like he's covered as a coach. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, I guess. But yeah, man, stop it. He doesn't want to go to a team that is has to build. He don't want to get his feet wet and earn his stripes in coaching.
He wants to be given
a great situation.
He wants to be given a team. He wants.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Portland was supposed to be, kind of, sorta. Even though Portland was we sort of down, like they were declining. He was supposed to stop the bleeding and help them recover. And that shit ain't happen. Yo, is Damian Lillard gone after this season?
I wouldn't blame him.
Like, we know what he says, and we know the kind of pride that he has. But is Damian Lillard gone after this season? And if he's gone, where does he go? Where would he go? Now, I've heard the rumors, but like I said, I hate to say I've heard the rumors because I've also learned over the years that the New York market, whatever team is in the New York market is always utilized to help leverage negotiations. So anytime I hear that, a player likes New York, I no longer believe that they're actually trying to come to New York. I don't believe that they're just trying to use New York for leverage. That shit irks the fuck out of me. What about Juwan Howard? You think Juwan Howard? I like that, D-Mac. I like that a lot, to be honest with you. Whether it's for the... Actually, I like that for the Knicks. I don't know how that will go about for the Lakers, but I like that for the Knicks. The only thing about it, Juwan Howard just got that job, didn't he? Like, this is his second year on the job, and that's his alma mater. So, why I like Juwan Howard? I don't think that Juwan Howard 3 years on the job. Okay. 3 full years. They had a nice little run this year. Finally getting due to the guys. He bitch backed up coach for them. You know what? If this leads to him, because he was on NBA benches for a while too, wasn't he? Like as an assistant, if I'm not mistaken. So if this helps him gets that next step and get that next job, I don't see that being a bad thing of Juwan Howard. Yeah, I like that, D-Mac. See, so that's what I mean. Thank you very much, D-Mac. I'm glad I caught that comment, cause that's what I mean when I say that.
So why would he leave his dream job?
I don't see, but
NBA for the NBA where you ain't going.
But that happens though. But that happens though because college is college, and he was trying to get into the NBA. Like, you know, the NBA is just one of those upper echelons kind of things. Because that's what I was gonna say if he's only been there for 2 years. But after being there for...
You muffled right now, but you muffled.
Ah, my bad. I don't know. What? Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna see. I had that same thought pattern when I thought he was probably only there for 2 years. Like, he just got to Michigan. That's his alma mater, his dream job. Like, why would he leave there so soon? Because that would look kind of distasteful a little bit. You know what I mean? But after you've been there for 3 years, you've got a little bit of success. You bitch smack the coach. Like maybe while this is one of the things on your bucket list, also being a coach in the NBA may be one of those other things too. But I wouldn't mind Juwan Howard. But again, it's not even so much it's not even so much how much I like Juwan Howard. It's just that Juwan Howard was one of those examples I was looking for where if the Lakers could find somebody then. And so maybe it goes back to what you, and I guess go back to exactly what you were saying, Chill. Not even so much better, but the fit. Like, who would be that next guy? Because I can't think of the coaches, and the Caliparis and the Izzos and all these guys. I don't think they're leaving their. I feel about them the same way I feel about Mark Jackson and Van Gundy. That they're not gonna leave their position of comfortability. You know what I mean? At this point and this far in their game, to go ahead and go into the NBA where they could be fired in 3 years, where they've been over here in college and they've had a 15+ year tenure without any stress. Well, of losing their job. I mean, they have, but they have a machine that works now to keep their job and to keep their program relevant. He's at a premier school and could come back to the NBA to win a championship. Yeah, listen, Juwan Howard's one of those names I actually like, and I wouldn't even have thought of. But like I said, I feel Chill. Come back to me. He was asking a question. He was like, why would he leave his alma mater? I want you to finish that sentence because I still want to hear what the hell you had to say. And wait a minute. I knew it. Chill, Will. Did I not wish you happy belated birthday yet? Or happy birthday yet? I knew your birthday had passed. And I was like, I know I wish you happy birthday on the podcast. I knew you wasn't gonna be around for it. I knew, I don't know why the fuck that just popped into my head. I was like, wait a minute, I just wished Chill Will happy birthday, but I don't think I actually wished him happy birthday where he can actually hear it live.
Chill. What's your show?
Your birthday, it just passed. Did I wish you happy birthday in person yet?
Hell no, you ain't wish me happy birthday.
Okay, well, happy motherfucking birthday. It was great. I don't know why that shit just hit.
It's not my birthday though. What do you mean?
But it passed though, and I didn't get a chance to wish you
Man, you're a horrible friend.
Whatever. I wished you happy birthday on the podcast, but I knew you was out. I knew you was out doing something that day. I'm like, it's your birthday.
Nah.
April 1st.
Nah, B. My birthday is in June.
What? So what? Who's Will Owens then?
That's me. And he gave my whole government.
Well, you got your wrong birthday on Facebook.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Oh.
It's not my real birthday. Hey, it's so crazy because in WhatsApp I got several chats, like the one with all my homies from the house. It was like happy birthday. Like y'all niggas ain't shit. Y'all know me. Y'all don't even know my real birthday. Somebody had to give out. Somebody said, "Hold on, wait. Is it his birthday?" And I just said, "Thank you." Like, thanks, bro. I was like, "Thanks, bro." Somebody said, "Wait, is it Will's birthday?" It ain't Will's birthday, is it? And I said, "Nah, it ain't." I just went to roll with it because I ain't want to bust nobody's bubble and shit. It's like, oh, you ain't shit.
Yeah. That shit fucked me up. I'm like, yo, I know that his birthday. I don't know why that shit just popped in my head. And the thing about it, it worked perfectly too because you weren't on the podcast, but it also may have been a Friday. Hold on, I saw you, Deep Man. I saw you trying to call on the show. I'm gonna get you back up here. Thank you for liking the show, but don't forget to also Don't forget to also share. Wait, you shared it, Phil. And also follow on YouTube, Podbean, and everywhere that we have. That way you get that little bing bong every time that we go live, right? And this is an all exclusive show, so let me get D-Mac up here because it sounds like D-Mac got a question. You got something to say? Yeah. No, that's funny because I know a chick. He can't join right now. I knew a chick that did that, like, and she has a different Facebook birthday. That's her actual birthday, and I'm like, you can't do that because I have a bad memory. Now I don't know what your real birthday is anymore. like now your birthday is whatever your Facebook birthday is. Oh man. That's funny. That's funny. So yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see. Ultimately, I'm gonna be interested to see, and I think most people are. Right, but I'm interested to see who the Lakers' next head coach is, only because I know that Knicks fans are constantly and consistently out here calling for Tom Thibodeau's head. Now he's gonna return next year, so he's not gonna be fired after this offseason. So he's gonna return next year. So with one more year of all of these coaches with a year underneath their belt, I think that opens up a little bit more room. Like I think. Now that actually puts Doc Rivers into play. I think now it actually puts Ty Lue into play. I don't think that if they got rid of Tom Thibodeau this year, that any one of those coaches would be in play because it's just too new into their contract. And it's too new into what they're doing. Ty Lue is to be respected for what he's doing with the Clippers. Like, they're not being talked about, but those motherfuckers have been in playoff contention since he's been there, even without their goddamn stars. We forget Kawhi Leonard has not played this year.
Let me tell you something, too. I remember at a point that LA was going to get Ty Lue, but they didn't want to because it was LeBron's boy and people had stigma against LeBron, bringing this, let him run a team. And even before, they didn't respect Ty Lue as a coach. He was the most coveted assistant for a long time. He came with the Cavs, and they gave all the props to LeBron. And I used to argue this shit.
It's tough coaching LeBron. You don't get praise
for that shit.
It's only about
3 people. There's only 3 people who stood up to LeBron James, and Ty Lue was one of them.
Who's the other 2?
Pat Riley.
Okay.
Well, I can say Paul Silas too. Paul Silas, but you see what happens, and they survive. There's not many people who survive instead of LeBron James at all. So, if indeed Paul Silas wasn't fired, LeBron would probably have 6 rings. And he'd probably still be in Cleveland. Because he would have been able to develop his game. Paul Silas would have told him, "Shut up! I know you're smart, but you ain't smarter than me." And he would have been able to develop him, make him a monster. But he just didn't have it. He had I don't have a respect for grown. Like, he didn't have no role model, right? Like no father figure. And that's the problem when people are successful about father figures. I think they don't have respect for that older guy. He's not a reference, and so he just did everything. He was just doing stuff on his own, and it worked for him. So you can't be mad at him, but it didn't work as well as I think it could have, right? But at the end of the day, Ty Lue was here, and he would tell him, like, I never forget when I had the most respect I ever had for any coach in the league. When he turned around to LeBron and said, "Shut the fuck up, I got this," and then you can pull it up today on YouTube or whatever. That point was so. I was like, wow, that's a real coach right there. He wasn't scared to tell LeBron, "Shut the fuck up. You're not the coach. I'm the coach." And so, and you see what happened. We came down from 3-1, to win a ring. So I mean, for the most part, he's always been a great coach, and they act like it was just LeBron. But Ty Lue's been a great coach, bro, and he's one of the best in the league. He's definitely an end game as far as thinking coaching. And so that's why point guards, but I can't see, and that's why Chelsea's probably, coveted because they're a point guard and they know the game. They're the coach on the floor. So I get that. You don't have to have a bunch of experience in coaching if you're a point guard because you're basically the coach on the floor all your fucking life. You know how the game's supposed to go. But man, damn, I wouldn't want nobody else besides a Ty Lue type person. But you're not going to get Juwan Howard, though, bro. He's not doing that. There's no benefit for him to come to any team, especially the Lakers. Or I mean, old ass LeBron and what that's setting himself up for Flair, and then he gonna leave his dream job.
What about the Knicks?
But he about to go to the Final Four. No, why the fuck would you want to go to the Knicks? What do the Knicks got? The Cavs better than the Knicks.
But the Cavs don't need a coach.
I would go to Charlotte. Look, I would go to Charlotte, Dallas. I mean, I'm just saying Cavs don't need a coach, but I'm just saying like I would go to a lot of different places. But I mean, give me somebody that's going with a future. What the Knicks got? I mean, Obi is fine. I like Obi. RJ Barrett, but are they winners? Are they closers? Are they monsters? No, I don't know. I watched Obi in college, and I thought it was, but it takes a while for a big man to translate.
Obi just dropped 35 last night.
Look, I'll give you some time on Obi. I never thought Obi would be like a top 5 player, though. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was a good player, but not that good. You know, so I'll give him some time because big men take time, and he takes time. But overall, man, I'm not. When I go to the Knicks, how am I gonna make the team better? I might as well stay in college and win the Final Four first, at least. In my alma mater, I got my dream job, bro. Was he part of the Fab Five or some shit or whatever? Wasn't he one of them motherfuckers?
Yeah, that's his alma mater. Yeah.
And that's a lot of them motherfuckers just had the discord, like all the shit he went through Michigan. He not leaving them. He's not leaving them no time soon. And you just had a good taste of it, like that success. He just tasted some good success this year. On the tip of his tongue. You think it went coach to second? Coach K just left the league. Think about how many people chomping at the bit right now, including Hubert Davis. Not Juwan. Like, what's stopping Juwan from being the next Coach K? And you an NBA player, so you know how to put people in the league. You know what I mean? He got all the benefit. And he's black. Let's be honest about that. He's black. He's a black NBA player that was a good player. He was an all-star. He was a fringe guy. He was Hubert Davis. This is Juwan Howard. Right? So, who wouldn't fucking want to come play for that guy? At Michigan, historically, like, awesome basketball college. You know, I mean, bro, he has it. He's the man. It don't get no better than that, bro. It just don't. So if he leaves, it's going to be because he wanted, like you say, knock something off his bucket list. I understand that. But at this point, after just not even winning a Final Four, he's probably committed. He just wants to win them guys a Final Four at least before he leaves. And he probably going to do it. He might do it a couple times.
He may.
That's why I'm pissed off, because Ohio State is in it. You know, they about to be whooping our ass for the next 10 years. Shit.
Well, listen. We're going to come back with some more NBA talk on Wednesday, right? Because there's some injuries that we have to talk about, right? That's probably going to affect these playoffs, right? Like with Luka and with RJ. Well, RJ Barrett injury doesn't really affect. So, actually, update for Knicks fans. RJ
Knicks
Barrett.
in the playoffs?
No. That's why I had to just give this one right now, because RJ Barrett he just sprained his knee, didn't play the last game, nothing serious, no major damage or whatever. He just had to take some time off. So RJ Barrett's gonna be okay. Luka, and it's not like things are gonna be good for Luka. So we'll talk a little bit more about Luka's injury coming up on Wednesday's show. We're gonna end the show on a little bit of NFL talk. It's not on the best of notes. What we need to say is rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. Very recently, over the weekend, he got into an accident on the 595 down here in South Florida, basically right behind my house. Right, like literally, it's 5-10 minutes behind my house. Right behind the crib. I'm on that road every single day. His car broke down. He was walking the highway and got hit by a dump truck or some shit like that. They said. So rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. You know what I mean? Our condolences to his family, you know, to his loved ones. That shit is sad to hear. Young quarterback from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was just now getting what looked like his second chance in the NFL, or a real chance in the NFL, not just at playing, but also on being a man and getting some guidance and leadership from some OGs that look like him. You know what I mean? So the whole entire world ended up losing him. And like I said, he means a whole lot more to a lot more other people. And our condolences go out to those people that are feeling his loss the most. And with that, normally I would tell you to play my outro so I can stop rambling, but that wasn't a ramble. I just had to give somebody their condolences. But we are out here. I want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast today. Hope you continue to catch a wave that never subsides. I'm tired as fuck. I need to get the hell out of here. Cause I also gotta be up at like 4 o'clock in the morning again. Like this shit's these next 3 days are gonna be ridiculous. Like I don't know how I'm gonna sound on Wednesday. But also, like the boy Toby and Wigway says, remember to continue to catch a wave that never subsides. But like I like to say is, be the kind of person that you would want to work for you. That's what I'm saying. Be the kind of person that you would hire to work for you. At bare minimum. And then thrive to be more. Alright, this is Throw My Thing on the Mighty Sports Podcast. Thank you, Chill Will, for joining the show. Thank you, D-Mac, and everybody else that has joined the show today. I thank you for all the love and support. You'll catch us again Wednesday night at 8:07 p.m. Oh, don't forget, in 2 Wednesdays from now, will be April 20th. We'll be live at Sharky's. And if you guys know what April 20th means to me, that's basically my New Year's. So I'll be at Sharky's having a New Year's celebration, if you know what I mean.
Sorry, B. I tried. Honest. All the bandwidth in the world couldn't keep me contained. No lag, no lag. Gonna share my talents with Podbean Live. Always knew I'd take the pod there. Just a lot later than a lot of listeners thought. Last of the real gabbers.
Good shit today, right?
Well, maybe not the last. Munchkin got good mic skills. New, improved, MyT podcaster.
I like that. Baiting.
Potting down now.
I'm wild.
Last call.
So I already got my
for drinks.
PJs on, B. I'm ready to go to bed.
Bars closing.
I think I had 4 beers here tonight.
Sun's out. Heard the casino got a buffet breakfast. Don't want to go far.
Peace, D-Bag.
Wild night. Tired, B. Tired. MyT
Sport.